Shout out to the CIA. What's going on? What's going on? What is going on? Had this stream planned on a little bit earlier, but postponed it for a hot second. But I think it's time to go ahead and do it. Shout out to the CIA. What's going on? All right. You liking the new camera? What's going on? The new lighting, the new setup. For those of you who can tell the difference, I wanted to do something real quick before I get up out of here. And I needed to respond. I wanted to put something out there so we can have part two of this conversation. Let me go ahead and do this. But we're going to have part two of this conversation. Jedi, what's going on? Let me make sure the audio was all good. I tell you guys, building the airplane while we're flying it. So can you guys tell the difference between the audio, the video quality? Let me show you where I talk about upgrading the quality of the video stream. This is how the old stream looked. This is how the old stream looked. I mean, it's good. I mean, it's passable. But now I'm streaming directly from a high quality camera. And when you stream directly from a high quality camera, you get this. Yeah. Zoom in, zoom out, do all that good stuff. So, you know what kind of sparked this video was a subject that one of the subjects I've been talking about. Do the men that the women say they want, do they want you, and all that kind of stuff. But what I wanted to bring up is something I hear far too often from guys, and they don't say it to women. So I'm gonna tell you ladies. And I'm going to, as proof, I'm going to talk about a video that I saw on YouTube this week. And it's a young lady, 24 years old, who's $100,000 in student loan debt. She went to Wake Forest. Young sister went to Wake Forest, $70,000 per semester. I want you to let that sink in. She went to Wake Forest. Mother and father was in the household. She went to Wake Forest, $70,000 a year. Let me just play some audio from this because I don't want to get in trouble with any copyright. Let's just play some audio from this. And I hope you guys can hear.
Hey guys, it's Lacey, and I am broke as fuck. 70,000. And when I know I can do something and I just don't want to do something. So I'm here to talk to you guys about my debt. So I guess I'll just start by saying
fair use.
I went to Wake Forest, and for those of you who don't know, Wake Forest is in North Carolina, and the tuition every year is about $70,000 a year. So it's like a top 30 school. So it was a good school. And for the most part, I enjoyed my time there. But, it's college, and college comes with its own set of problems, but that's not the issue here. What's the issue is I signed my soul over to the devil when I was 17 years old. And I had no idea what I was doing. My parents didn't have any student loans. They both went to college for free, so they didn't have this problem. So I was their first child to go off to college, and I had to take out loans. That's where I wanted to go. So that's what you do.
All right, so basically, I signed my life away at 17. My mom and dad didn't have any college loans, and so I went to a school that's $70,000 a year to go get a degree in English and philosophy. Mm-hmm. English and philosophy. And her ultimate goal was she thought that I'd sign this all the way, but out of college in under a year, I'd get out and become a popular YouTuber like so many other people you see and like that. Then she goes on to talk about how she ran up credit card debt to get her teeth fixed, and she ran up this for makeup, and how at 23 years old, it's just I'm taking control of my own life, and finally, I'm finally working a job. 20 now, for those who keep in mind, $70,000 a year is about $280,000 for a 4-year degree for philosophy and English. And the plan was to get out and do what? Become a YouTuber to where she didn't need nobody. Mom and daddy didn't tell her. And the net of it is this woman still talks about, young woman. Okay, cool. But her story is not uncommon. I buy makeup, I go out to dinner, I do this, I do that. And now I have a job as an event planner. And now I'm putting on my big girl pants. And see, a lot of guys don't have this. And here's the reality. This is the reality. Far too many women are too broke to level up. And here's the questions you got to ask yourself. Here's a question you got to ask yourself, ladies, if you fit in this category. If you're so independent, educated, and accomplishment, who in the heck did you expect to pay all that debt? Because it does not take a brain surgeon, a brain scientist, or a rocket surgeon to know an English and a philosophy degree has no real world market value. Why are you going to an expensive school to get a degree in English and philosophy? And this happens far too often, especially with some attractive women. They go to school to get these BS humanities type degrees. Now, here's the thing. In the video, she started talking about how her parents didn't have college debt. But that's not the point. Mommy and daddy, while they should have, arguably sat their daughter down, she could have still decided to go to Wake Forest and take out loans. Mommy and daddy couldn't stop her. We can talk about how predatory the student loan system is and how they strap young people so early on. And there is an argument, there's a conversation to be had about that for sure. But why does this seem to plague women more so than men? Because guys realize ain't nobody coming to save you. And let's be real, women with beauty or pretty privilege, who did you expect to come pay that debt? And I put it on her channel. Why would you go $280,000 in debt, plus credit card debt, plus PayPal debt, and still be out here living, eating, traveling, makeup, and living this life of consumption to get a career that might make $40,000 a year in 10 years? And the truth is, these crazy humanities degrees are not anything to pay. No male advisor or anything like that to talk about responsibility or reality of the future. Student loan shopping, traveling, dining, all while not making any money. The bill has come due for millions of women. And who did they expect to pay? The answer? You ladies expected men to pay. You expected a man to marry you, and then you could just saddle him with all your debt because you're now his woman. Men have been seeing this for decades. Out here in the dating world, I have seen this for decades. Women going to college to play at school, to get degrees that they don't use, to go into a work world where they have to compete, and had no plan on ever paying it back to anyone. And see, now the gig is up. Where in previous generations, I mean, this hits home for me for so many reasons, because I've seen this pretty privileged sort of woman, sorority girl, sorority. This is endemic, and some have moms and dads, some don't. But the net of it is, you just wanted to go to the best school, the most expensive school, and you never anticipated on being single. You expected to drop hundreds of thousands of dollars of debt on a man. And guys just aren't doing it anymore. The title of this stream is Bills, Bills, Bills. Remember that song, Bills, Bills, Bills? Can you pay my bills? They ain't paying your bills. Can you pay your bills? Because now you're seeing so many women, younger, especially the women who are going back to school in their late 20s or 30s, saddling themselves with debt, and they have a kid going to get a degree to take on a career that you're not good at. Why are you going to school to get a marketing degree? To make $35,000 a year? You can go to work at Quick Trip and make that. Go work at, be a waitress. The reality is, so many women just don't, today's women aren't thinking. They think, I'll just marry a guy and he'll pay it. He'll pay it. He'll pay. But see, Blake the Henry, he can pay bills. He can pay bills. He can make payroll. He can pay his creditors. He can make a profit for investors and stockholders. Blake Henry can take care of a lot of stuff because
just putting some money in the offering plate.
Because
the game you give on the daily. Keep up the good work.
And this
People
is
really don't give you enough credit.
Appreciate it, ma'am. This is Suit Saturday, and I actually have an event that I have to get to, and I wanted to do this little shot because we need to have this conversation. The kind of men the kind of men you ladies say you want, my boys, are the men you expected to wife. You expected them to wife you up. Let's be real. You expected to walk out here with your little cute self, and just because you got some vajayjay, somebody's supposed to just make a bad investment. They're supposed to sit back and be able to run a business, look at a profit and loss sheet, look at all these things in the real world and compete. But then when it comes to you, they're just supposed to just go, because she's so fine and her sex is so bomb, I'm gonna take on all your debt without children. It's not going to work. That's why you see so many so many women with all these highly educated. If you're so educated, you need to be smart and think, why are you going into debt? Why are you going to take on this amount of debt? And when you go watch that video, that woman said, I just never thought about how it's going to be paid back. I thought it was going to have to be paid back sometime in the future. And by that time, I'd be a big social media star. And it's just supposed to happen. It's just supposed to happen. This is a plague, especially on women who are 7s or better, because you're just attractive and you've been getting shit for free since you were a little girl because somebody wanted to have sex with you. But they're not going to pay your bills. Last session I talked about, or session before last, I talked about leveling up. And a woman came on and said, what if you are in too dire of a financial strait to pay for self-improvement? What should I do? That's the impetus of this stream. You want Blake Henry. You want my boys. You want the dudes that are coming over here. You want the dudes that are taking on the responsibility, working 60 hours minimum, to doing the work, leveling up. You want the guys that are going to have to slay the dragon, but you are too broke for these guys to even look at. You are too broke to even fix yourself.
Showing some support.
You want them to go do something and compete and everything else, and you're sitting over here saying you can't even afford a ticket to go, you can't even pay for counseling or coaching from somebody. The nerve of you. You want this man to get, see, that's, then this is, therein lies the rub. See, it's easy when women talk about there ain't no good men out here, and then, but when men actually say, okay, cool, I'm gonna step up to the masculine burden of performance. I'm gonna go out there, I'm gonna do everything I need to do to become a self-actualized man. And you're like, yay! But see, the problem is, that should have made you nervous. You should have been like, uh-oh, now they're doing something, because when they're out doing what they're supposed to be doing, they're going to look to you as the helpmeet, the support system, and say, what do you bring to this party? And this is where you got to get real with yourself. Far too many of you just think you should bring sex. I've said this before and I'll say it again. I need you women to ask yourself a question, especially women like that. How many women like this have you ever met that said they had average or below average vajayjay? I've never met one. In my life, I've answered that question for years. And the answer comes back, it's every one of got the bomb. It don't matter if you are married, 270 pounds with 6 kids, they all swear they have the bomb. And that thing that comes standard on all females, they think it's an unlimited credit card that should be able to balance the scales for any man they want. You want to be out, you want to be Jeff Bezos, Barack Obama, you want to go out here and become the president or CEO, you want to be out here and be a guy in the top 20% and do all that work and get in the gym and get your mind right. You do all that physical work to hashtag show your work, and all you have to do is bring a standard product. No. No. And you know that's not true. And now the problem is, oh my God, I've got all this debt that I cannot get on, I can't wish it away. You can't file bankruptcy and get out of this debt. It is with you. It is your child. So many of you women out there say, I don't have any kids. Yes, you do. It's called student loan debt is your kid. Automatically, you're coming in. Every woman I have dated has had massive student loan debt. Far too many of them were just average or below average degrees. I went out with a young lady who been in school, graduating senior. She's 24. And her degree is going to be in marketing. You know, the average person coming out with a marketing degree makes $35,000 a year, but yet you're $78,000 in debt? You crazy. Many sisters don't have an end game with the majors they choose. That's right. They don't have, yes, they no, Spartacus, they do have an end game. It's supposed to be you, me, my boys. We're the end game.
Many sisters don't have an end game with the majors they choose. Most of my Morehouse brothers who majored in English and history attended law school.
But here's the problem. I don't mind that they say the end game is supposed to be Spartacus or me or guys like myself or my boys. I don't mind that. But you got to be up there. You have to be the best product available. So if you got all that debt and the end goal was that person, you better make sure you are the top of the heap, because you can't afford to not get picked because you can't pay your debt. Think about what I just said. If your end game has to be a man making more than you, because there's no way in hell you'll ever be able to make enough money with your skill sets to pay that debt off in your lifetime, How do you have the nerve to not be feminine, beautiful, inspirational? How do you have the nerve to be larger than a dress size 6? How do you have the nerve to not be cooperative, submissive? How do you have the nerve to not smile and be the best possibility to get picked so he can come? How do you have the nerve of you? And how can you honestly say, I'm in too dire of a financial strait to get my improvement together? That's your only out.
Busy this weekend, brother. Will catch the replay Monday.
Appreciate it, fam.
Flexed bicep.
Let me explain something to you. You will never be able to get out there and pay off your debt with your skill sets. Your only out is a man, one of my boys, somebody who's earning more than you. Unless the government comes through and just does loan forgiveness, something outside of you has to fix your situation. It's either Big Daddy government or Henry. It's Blake Henry. And you better make sure he picks you. There is no, I'm in too dire financial strait to do this self-improvement. You will never be picked because he does not have to choose you. He has his choice. And you are unattractive, especially financially. Oh, you may have a hookup, you may have sex, but he will never put a ring on you because you are a massive debt and you show that you have no foresight to even think this problem through. Don't you think that these guys know? She just expect me to wife her and put a ring on her finger and pay all her bills in the future and in the past. That's why this 2 weeks I have my women's event here in Atlanta. I laugh at the women who sit back and say, I'm too broke to attend. You better go sell some plasma. You better do something to attend something to fix your situation. Because my boys ain't gonna pick you if you can't show the work that you've done. Let me go back to the other video.
When you get a chance, opinion on Johan B. Rich Icon Cologne.
No problem. Shut up and show him the records. You ain't enough. Your JJ and your pretty privilege just settles the attraction piece. But to get the bag, him, that ain't enough. All of you come standard with the same parts. And I got news for you. You may think it's the bomb. Every one of you think it's the bomb. When we talk to ourselves, we laugh at you women that all think you got the bomb. You need somebody to tell you the truth about this sex you think is so important that you think is worth millions of dollars. No. And the price of it is at an all-time low. So I said self-awareness. You gotta know what you're worth. Number two, what are you passionate about? Show us the receipts. You're not even passionate about fixing your own stuff because you don't have that self-awareness. Who do you listen to? What do you listen to? What do you invest in as far as self-improvement? The woman I just showed you, she invested in makeup and teeth and everything else, but nothing to improve her mindset to actually get the dude that could actually fix the situation, because she can't fix that with an English and philosophy degree. Her best thinking got her right here. What is she gonna learn with as an event planner? Harsh? True. What would her ex say? Obviously, she's never been to a therapist because she's still young enough to where she thinks, still living with mom and daddy. And mom and daddy don't want to turn that out into the world because they're like, Jesus Christ, she'll never make it. That's why so many stay there. So if you're in too dire financial straits to hire a personal trainer, get a therapist, get a life coach, an image consultant, all that other kind of stuff, what you gonna do? You're gonna be single till you die is what you're gonna do. Far too many of you are gonna be single till you die. Now here's where the rubber meets the road. In this community, that even if every one of the men got a woman and married her and made it official, if everyone, no exception, every man is drawing breath, there'd still be 2 million without one. You better find out how you're going to compete. You better figure out how you're going to fix this situation and do the self-improvement and pay somebody. Because especially when this recession hits and these government jobs and retail start collapsing, where it is overrepresented the amount of women, especially that work in those sectors, the federal government, the number one employer of women. The retail sector, call centers in the top 5. What happens when the hundreds of thousands or millions of jobs that are there go down to get reduced by a factor of 10? When there is one job per 1,000 people, one job per 1,000 women, or one job per 100 women, that means 99 of you are going to be on the street. You better start getting a sense of urgency and understanding. You need to lead life like musical chairs, and the music is about to stop. Stop this foolishness talking about you got the bomb. That bomb ain't got you nothing. Realize that it comes standard on all the models and it's giving it away. In this market, it's 26 women to 1 man. Men, there are levels of survival we're willing to accept. Guys are actually say, you know what, I'd rather go down in looks and down over here to increase the attitude and outcome. It's getting stiff out here, BGS. And I'm telling you, when I can sit there and listen to a young woman sit there and talk about she went to Wake Forest, $70,000 per semester. I just knew she was going to say engineering. She was going to go to law school. She got a degree in engineering, English and philosophy. What can you do with that? She shouldn't have gone to college. She should have carried her ass out into this work world. Honestly, now college was a bad move because obviously she didn't learn how to think. She could have got a job anyway. This is sad. It's sad because so many women are in a very mirrored position. Do a quick search on I'm in student loan debt, I owe money to school, and see how many single women are telling sob stories about being 50, 70, 80, 90, 100 plus $1,000 in debt, and listen to their degrees. Women don't tend to go into science, engineering, technology, and math, high paying careers. They tend to go into things that are work with agreeableness, HR, business. And you can't out compete these guys. And ladies, I'm not trying to be rude, but you got to understand that your position, your out, the fix to your situation is either the government saying you don't have to pay it back, which that ain't gonna happen, or you marry well. What are you gonna do? Because the whole thing, I'm too broke to pay for self-improvement. I'm too broke to level up. All right, for the women who are asking about the event, see, this is what I suggest. If you live in the Atlanta area, you best have your butt in this event. If you can't make it because you too broke to fly in, that's the reality. You too broke to fly in. You too broke to attend. You better go borrow some money from mom and daddy and see, can't you attend this boardroom event? Because apparently mama and daddy, if you got them, did not give you the advice not to get yourself in this position. And you ain't got nobody else to talk to you and tell you this. I'm gonna tell you what you need to hear. I'm gonna put you around other folks, tell you what you need to hear. But at the end of the day, if you talk about, oh, I like to hear me and such and so forth, these live streams and stuff is not gonna address your specific situation. Your broke ass is, yeah, you're not gonna put it on him enough to where he just says, I'm gonna wipe you and take off. That ain't gonna work. It's not going to work. Roxy says, I have a useless BFA dance degree from Fordham University, but I'm paid off by mid next year on my own business. Very fortunate. But you're a Miss Olympian you're a Miss Olympian competitor, and you're on your own business. That puts you already in the top, probably 10%, 5% of women. Most women out here just got an everyday working a day job. Call center. You're in lower management at best. HR. You don't see women out here making. You look at management in most Fortune 2000 companies, and it's still dominated by men. It's time to get real. Are you too broke to level up? If so, what you gonna do about it? Because that coochie you think is so bomb, that coochie that you think you can use for a credit card to buy whatever in the world, girl, please, that shit ain't working. Woman, please, that ain't working. That's why y'all get mad when guys start talking them telling the truth, because it's like, well, damn. But I thought it was gonna be good enough. The nerve of you. Everybody else in the world got to compete and go do what they got to do. But you cute and pretty girls think that, oh, I just got to be cute and pretty. Well, guess what? Then you should have married the dude that wanted to marry you in college. You should have married your college sweetheart. You should have married Roy. You should have married the dude that approached you and you said he was lame and corny. That's what you should have did. You should have married that dude that was going to pharmacy school or law school or going to school to be an engineer. Yeah, he might not have had on the fresh polo. He may not have had, oh, you should have. That was your best bet. And if you think they don't remember how you looked over and clowned them in his high school and senior year and in college, and now all of a sudden you come back saddled with lots of student loan debt and 5 years of being in the working economy, and you just got a mediocre career. You don't think that they making that $85,000, $90,000 a year, looking at your $40,000 self. You're like, okay, what you gonna bring to the table? Ooh, I'm gonna just take an Instagram picture. No. You gonna offer him some used sex? It ain't like you're a virgin. I mean, come on, let's be real. You're not a virgin. Even if you don't have kids, your kid's name is debt. You're gonna offer him some used sex that you gave away at college for free often. You take your girls trips and don't get mad because guys can read the odometer and look at the Kelly Blue Book value. Don't get mad because guys can look at your SMV, your sexual marketplace. Don't get mad because men actually are making business decisions. Marriage is a business. Don't get mad that guys are sitting at looking and saying, you know what? These things you guys say you want, women are filing 70 to 80% divorce rates, walking away from the very things you say you want. Don't get mad because guys can do that. You better make the product better, and you better make getting with you as appealing as possible and give him as many guarantees up front. He wants you to sign a prenup, you better sign it. He wants you to work out morning, afternoon. He wants you to be smiling, feminine. He wants you to learn how to cook. He wants you to be a freak in the sheets. He wants you to wear lingerie. You better do something. Or do what's becoming more and more popular. Go buy a purse dog or play for the other team, whatever. Because men are saying, they don't have to do with you. They don't have to. They can go they got plenty of options. Blake Henry got plenty of options. Plenty of them. Trust and believe, plenty of them. Don't get mad. Get competitive. Don't get mad, get competitive. You gonna listen to all these other women who's, you ain't got to do that, and these men are bitter. I ain't bitter. I'm better. I'm certainly not bitter. I'm not even a freaking dating coach. I'm an image consultant, but I tell you what my boys, the dudes y'all want, nationally and internationally, I hear it every day. I coach with men and I hear it. Met her at the coffee shop. Next thing you know, anyway, what's your solution for your situation? Because you got to be real. You can't fix it. You can't fix it. You will never make the kind of money to pay off what you got to pay off unless you improve yourself. The reason Roxy can say she had a trash degree, but she can pay it off, and she's not 20, 25. She's paying it off now because she actually went out and made a business and competed. You just got a goddamn job. What I'm trying to get you to understand is something. The female of any species purpose on the planet is a male. The female of any species is to reproduce, to take the seed, germinate it, reproduce. You're not autonomous beings in that way. And to think you don't need no man, that's just foolish. You don't need no man. Yeah, the government is your man. Sorry. So the net of it is this. If you are too broke to level up, you're not going to level up. If you're too broke to level up and too lazy to go out and do the work you need to do to get the money to stop being broke to pay to level up, you're not going to level up. You're going to work until you die, living paycheck to paycheck, frustrated. All right. Or you could decide to say, you know what? Maybe I need to do this self-improvement stuff and get my head right and get a coach and help get me to become competitive out here to land to so Blake Henry will actually come scoop me up like Boaz did Ruth. Choices. But you can't get mad saying that there ain't no men out there. Wrong. Plenty of men out there. Plenty of them. Plenty of good men out there. Plenty of them. Are you a good woman for that man? See, you thought I was going to ask if you're a good woman. Nope. Are you a good woman for those men? And how are you proving it to them sight unseen? You better walk around with this on your forehead like the Scarlet Letter. Yeah, I got college loan debt. I got this. I got that. But I'm doing this. You better be able to have an elevator pitch inside 20 seconds to tell a man, yep, I come out with it. Here's the downside, but here are all the upsides, and here's all the work I'm doing. So he can at least say, she's self-aware to realize the position she's in, but she's doing something she can to do something about it. I can work with a situation like that. Other than just say, I don't know. It's so bad. And what are you doing? Okay, you're going to cry about it, but after you wipe the tears, what you going to do? I'm going to go get the new Sephora makeup cake. I'm just going to keep on acting like it doesn't happen.
Major things holding back most sisters from being married according to school debt 2 attitude 3 wait 4 kids out of wedlock. Kevin is just trying to help you ladies. Love is truth.
They know I'm telling the truth. They know I'm telling the truth. And no amount of girls' trips, no amount of fudge parties, no amount of waiting to exhale, no amount of, you shouldn't talk like that, you shouldn't say like, men want show your work was not gender specific for men. Ladies, you need to show your work too. It can't be, I didn't know. I was young, I didn't know. I made mistakes when I was young, I didn't know. Well, you know now. What are you doing? All right. All right, well, I got to run. Hope that helped. I was going to make a long, drawn out stream. We may leave this up on Sunday. I would love to hear do a part 2. Ladies, let's do part 2 Sunday. Let's talk about it. Are you too broke to level up? Are you in dire financial straits? Did you really make some bad decisions? Are you just out here living foul? Did you really think that your magical vajayjay was just going to fix it all? If so, let's talk about it. There's a solution for each and every one of you.
Here you go. Imfuba and may die a horrible death. No place will hire me here in Kewanee, Illinois. No support to help. People need people.
Is it wrong to go 50-50 women? I can't tell you what's right for you. I don't do it. You want to go 50-50? I mean, look, that's a different subject for a different time. If you want to go 50-50, I want control. 50-50, there's no control. And here's the thing. Why are you picking women you got to go 50-50 with? You get to pick. That's the real point. Why are you picking women that you got to go 50-50 with? That's the real question, I think, is the guy. Instead of saying, is it right or wrong? Why are you picking women you got to go 50-50 with? Just a question. All right, tomorrow, 9 p.m. EST. Ladies, let's talk about it. By this time, your nerves shouldn't be as frazzled. You should have got your new TV or your new phone that you done threw down because you done thrown this one down and stepped on it and threw it in the trash or something. Because I know you're hot, you heat it. But understand, it's Saturday night and you have no date. See, I'm about to go out. I went to a private event the other day and I'm going to another event tonight. You've got no date. You're not a plus one. It's holiday season, Thanksgiving, and you're going to mom and daddy's house. You going Thanksgiving by yourself with your family. You got no husband. You got no man. You got nobody. You're not a day walker. Come on, let's be real. It's holidays and you ain't got no plans tonight. Thursday, you're going to go sit at the house with all your aunties and aunties and cousins and everybody else. And you're going to be sitting over there with your degree and your lackluster career by yourself, knowing you ain't got no man. They're all going to be looking at you like it's another year. And here she is again by herself. And then because on Black Friday, they're going to all run out and go shop for Black Friday. But you're going to be buying for a bunch of women buying for each other. And then you buying for them kids that folks didn't have. But then Christmas time gonna come along. You don't have your own kids running down the steps under your own tree with your husband. No. Y'all gonna have that big extended Christmas where the old man is gonna be in the corner because your mama or your grandma got a husband, but every other woman over there ain't got nobody. There's been a bunch of women in the holidays, no men. Knock it off. You got no Christmas parties to go to, no holiday parties to go to, nowhere to wear that little black dress, nowhere to wear that little sequin dress, nowhere to wear them red bottoms. Then you'll be looking around. What we're gonna do for New Year's? Y'all gonna go out to group people for New Year's. Knock it off. Knock it off. Enough. Girls trip, all that shit ain't working. Knock it off. You know you want a man. You know you want one of my boys. Guess what? You got to be ready for him. Knock it off. Tomorrow, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Get you a glass of wine, 2, a Xanax, something. Bring your ass. Peace.